Hello, everyone, and welcome back to English Empire. Today's topic is very important because it is not only about English, but also about life, mindset, and the future you build for yourself. Sometimes a single idea can change the way a person thinks, and once the thinking changes, the whole life can begin to change too.
Yes, because many people do not realize how strongly their surroundings affect them. The people around you, the place where you live, the level of thinking in your community, and the kind of life you see every day can all shape your perspective. They can shape what you believe is possible, what kind of income feels enough, and even how big or small your dreams become.
If a person lives in a poor environment, even a small income may feel acceptable because most friends, relatives, and neighbors are living at the same level or even lower. This can create comfort, and that comfort can stop a person from growing, improving, or aiming for more.
But when a person changes their environment or starts spending time with people who think bigger, earn better, build businesses, and live with higher standards, their perspective begins to change. Then they start to see that life is not only about surviving, it is about growing, gaining experience, building skills, and becoming stronger.
And sometimes one person can change the fate of the whole family. One person can work, learn, improve, and rise enough to move the family from struggle to stability and from poverty to wealth.
So, while you listen to this video, we want you to pay attention to the word exposure. Try to understand its meaning from the context and see how it connects to today's lesson.
And remember, this video is not only here to improve your English skills, it may also change the way you think, push you out of your comfort zone, and inspire you to build a better future.
If you enjoy this kind of content, please like this video, leave a comment, and subscribe to the channel. Now, let's begin.
How your surroundings shape your life.
Jack, can I ask you something honestly?
Of course. What is it?
Do you really believe that the environment around a person can shape their future that much?
More than most people think. In many cases, your surroundings quietly train your mind before you even realize it.
Quietly train your mind?
Yes, think about it. If you grow up in a place where everyone is struggling, everyone is surviving month to month, everyone says this is life, this is enough, don't expect too much, then little by little you start to believe that too.
So you mean poverty is not only about money, it is also about mindset.
Exactly. Poverty can become a way of thinking, not only a financial condition. I'm not saying poor people are weak or lazy, not at all. Many of them work harder than rich people. But when your environment keeps showing you small possibilities, your imagination becomes small too.
That is deep. But some people say, be happy with what you have.
There's nothing wrong with gratitude. Gratitude is good. But sometimes people use that sentence to stay asleep. There's a difference between peace and passivity.
Explain that.
Peace means you're thankful, but still ambitious. Passivity means you stop pushing yourself because the people around you are also not moving. So your average life starts to feel normal, comfortable, safe.
And dangerous at the same time.
Very dangerous, because comfort can look innocent. It does not attack you, it hugs you. It tells you, relax, you're doing enough. Look around, you're already doing better than many people here. And once you believe that, growth slows down.
I've seen that. In some neighborhoods, if a person earns $500 a month, people say, wow, he's doing well.
Exactly. And in that environment, that person may feel successful. He might stop learning, stop improving, stop taking risks, because compared to his surroundings, he looks fine.
But then if he moves to another environment?
everything changes. Suddenly, he meets people who earn $2,000, $5,000, or even more every month. Some run businesses. Some have side income. Some invest. Some work smart, not only hard. Then the old level no longer feels big.
So it creates discomfort.
Yes, but not the bad kind, the useful kind, the kind that wakes you up.
Some people might call that jealousy, though.
Not always. Jealousy means you want what others have without wanting to build yourself. But this is different. This is awareness. You start asking yourself, if they can do it, why can't I improve too? Why should my family remain stuck? Why should my children repeat the same struggle? Why should the story stay the same?
That hits hard.
Because it is true. Sometimes one person changes the fate of a whole family.
One person?
Yes, one disciplined son, one brave daughter, one family member who decides it ends with me. The cycle stops here. That person learns, works, sacrifices, starts a business, builds a career, saves, invests, and creates a new standard for the next generation.
I love that idea. It sounds powerful.
It is powerful. Let me give you a real example.
Go ahead.
Imagine two young men from the same poor town. Let's call them Ahmed and Samir. Both grow up seeing their fathers work hard for little money. Both hear the same words. Just find a basic job. Don't dream too much. Life is hard. Ahmed accepts it. He finds a small salary job and stays there for 10 years. Every month he survives, but never grows. Samir starts the same way, but later he meets people from another city. They speak differently. They plan differently. They talk about business, learning skills, online work, investment, networking, and long-term growth. Suddenly, his old life starts to feel too small. That discomfort pushes him to study after work, learn sales, improve English, save money, and start something small. 5 years later, his life looks completely different.
Same beginning, different environment, different result.
Exactly. Sometimes talent is not the first difference. Exposure is.
Exposure. I like that word.
Because what you are exposed to becomes your mental ceiling or your mental floor.
Say that again?
What you are exposed to becomes your mental ceiling or your mental floor.
Wow.
If all you see is struggle, struggle becomes normal. If all you see is growth, growth becomes normal.
But I want to ask something. Is it wrong to stay connected to your old environment, your family, your village, your old friends?
No, not at all. You should never be ashamed of where you came from. The issue is not loving your roots. The issue is letting your roots become chains.
That is a strong line.
Because many people confuse loyalty with self-destruction. They think, if I change, I am betraying my people. No. If you grow and then help your people, that is not betrayal. That is leadership.
So, changing your environment does not mean hating your past.
Exactly. It means refusing to be limited by it.
I remember a guy I knew. He grew up in a very simple area. Everyone around him worked small jobs, and most people spent everything they earned. Then he got a chance to work in another city. At first, he hated it. He felt poor. He felt behind. He felt small. But later he told me that was the best thing that ever happened to him.
Why?
Because for the first time, he was around people who thought bigger. They were not necessarily richer from birth. Some of them came from normal families too. But they talked about opportunities, books, skills, savings, business plans, and long-term goals. He said it made him uncomfortable every day, but that discomfort changed him.
That is exactly the point. New environments can hurt your ego, but heal your future.
Nice sentence.
Thank you. And look, this is not only about money. It is also about standards.
Standards?
Yes, in one environment, coming late is normal. In another,
Being late is embarrassing. In one environment, reading books is strange. In another, it is normal. In one environment, everyone spends to look rich. In another, people invest quietly. In one environment, people complain all day. In another, they solve problems. So when you change your environment, your standards change too.
That makes sense. Even the way people talk affects you.
Absolutely. Words shape identity. If everyone around you says, I can't, it's impossible, people like us never succeed, then your brain starts repeating the same script. But if you hear, learn first, be patient, build value, start small, keep going, then you begin to think like a builder.
So the people around you are like invisible teachers.
Very much. Some teach you fear, some teach you courage, some teach you excuses, some teach you responsibility.
Let's talk about income again. You mentioned $500 in a poor environment and $2,000 in a stronger economy. Why does the feeling change so much?
Because money is not only a number, it is also relative to the environment. In a poor area, $500 may look respectable because many people earn less, so you feel safe. But in a more advanced environment, $2,000 may feel small because now you're comparing it to new realities: rent, education, investment, savings, lifestyle, travel, healthcare, future planning, family support.
So your vision becomes larger.
Yes, and once your vision becomes larger, your old level cannot satisfy you the same way anymore.
Again, not because of jealousy.
Right, not because you want to copy people blindly, but because you understand that money, when earned honestly and wisely, can become protection and opportunity. It can help your parents live better. It can help your children study. It can help your family escape emergency to emergency living.
It can change the family story.
Exactly. One person who starts earning differently, thinking differently, and planning differently can shift the whole family line. Maybe the father could not do it because he had no opportunity. Maybe the mother sacrificed everything just so the children could have a chance. Then one child rises, not only for himself, but for everyone.
That makes me emotional.
Because many families live that reality. Behind every successful person, there is often a history of sacrifice, struggle, and somebody saying, I hope my child lives better than me.
But let me challenge you a little. What if someone changes environment, meets successful people, but still does not improve?
Good question. A new environment helps, but it does not do the work for you. It only shows you what is possible. After that, you still need discipline.
So exposure is the beginning, not the finish.
Exactly. And there is another important thing. Before chasing money, gain experience.
Yes, this part is very important.
Very important. Many people see rich people and want quick results. They want the income, but not the preparation. That is dangerous.
So if I want to enter business, I should first understand the work?
Of course, learn the field, understand the market, build skills, watch how the work is done, make mistakes while the risks are still small. Experience gives judgment, and judgment protects money.
Can you give an example?
Sure. Suppose a young man sees that restaurant owners make good money. He gets excited and borrows money to open a restaurant without experience. He does not understand cost control, suppliers, customer service, staffing, waste, menu pricing, or location strategy. What happens?
He may fail fast.
Exactly. But another person works in restaurants for 2 years first. He learns the business from inside. He sees what sells, what fails, where money leaks, how customers behave, and how owners survive. When he finally opens his own place, he's not gambling blindly. He's making an informed move.
So ambition without experience is risky.
Very risky. Dreams need feet. Experience is part of those feet.
That means changing environment should not make us desperate. It should make us wiser.
Beautifully said. The right discomfort does not make you panic. It makes you prepare.
So, what should a person do if they are living in a poor environment right now?
First, do not insult yourself or your roots. Start with respect. Then do these things. See more. Learn more. Meet different people. Read. Listen to successful people who built themselves honestly. Improve one valuable skill. Save, even if it is small. Stop normalizing excuses. And most importantly, stop thinking that the people around you define your final level.
That is strong advice.
And one more thing. Sometimes you cannot physically leave your environment immediately, but you can mentally leave it first.
What do you mean?
Through books, courses, mentors, podcasts, online communities, and serious conversations, you can start feeding your mind a different world before your body enters it.
So, the first migration is mental.
Exactly. First, the mind travels, then the life follows.
Jack, this conversation is making me reflect on a lot.
Good. Reflection is the beginning of change.
Let me see if I understand the main point. A poor environment can make a low level of income feel enough because everyone around you lives the same way. That creates comfort, and comfort can stop growth. But when you enter a stronger environment or spend time with more ambitious, successful, or financially smart people, you feel uncomfortable. That discomfort is not always jealousy. It can be a healthy signal telling you that you are capable of more and that you owe it to yourself and your family to rise. But before chasing bigger money, you must build experience, skills, and wisdom in the work you want to do.
Perfect. That is exactly it.
Then maybe the real question is not, am I comfortable?
Yes?
Maybe the real question is my comfort helping my future or killing it?
That is the question. And many lives change the day a person answers it honestly.
One last thing, Jack.
Go ahead.
Do you think a person from a poor background can truly become wealthy without losing their values?
Absolutely. In fact, those who rise from struggle often have the strongest values if they stay humble. They know pain, they know sacrifice, they know what it means to do without. Wealth does not have to corrupt a person. Sometimes it simply gives a good person more power to do good.
So success is not about showing off.
Never. Real success is when your parents worry less, your children start higher than you did, and your family no longer breaks under every small emergency.
That is a beautiful definition.
Because in the end, money is not the goal. Freedom, dignity, and impact are the goal.
And the right environment can push you toward that.
Yes, the right environment stretches your mind, challenges your excuses, and raises your standards. It shows you that your current reality is not your final reality.
I think a lot of people need to hear this.
Especially the ones who secretly know they are meant for more, but have been surrounded by too little for too long.
Then say one final message for them.
All right, here it is. Never let the limits around you become the limits inside you. Respect where you come from, but do not let it imprison your future. Learn, grow, build experience, and move toward people who challenge you to become better. One person can change a whole family's direction. Why not let that person be you?
That was powerful.
Because it is true.
That's the end of today's lesson. Thank you so much for listening and learning with us. We hope this video helped you improve your English and also gave you a deeper way of thinking about your life and your future.
Yes, and always remember, sometimes changing your mindset is the first step to changing your whole life. Keep learning, keep growing, and never be afraid to step out of your comfort zone.
If you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, and subscribe to English Empire.
And tell us in the comments, what did you learn from today's lesson?
Thank you for being with us, and we'll see you in the next video.